Welcome back for more pro wrestling talk. So this one is going to be my WrestleMania preview, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to it for a couple weeks. In fact, I went to Raw about a month ago here in Detroit and had a great time. So, anyways, I'm going to talk about my predictions and maybe some of the things I expect to see or would like to see. So with that, I will be scrolling through some notes I've written down because I don't want to forget anything, and I'd like to go in, try to go over the order that I have. And so with that, in the kickoff show right now, I think the only match, and maybe I'm wrong, is the Cruiserweight Championship match. I think the Andre the Giant Battle Royal is also there too. And they moved the SmackDown Women's Championship match into the main show. So that was originally in the pre-show, and I think enough people complained that they moved it to the normal show. So with that, the Cruiserweight Championship match between Neville and Austin Aries. I expect Austin Aries to win. I think that would be fine. I think 205 Live needs that to happen because I think they need some star power there. Austin Aries is a fantastic worker, former ROH World Champion. He is a great cruiserweight. Neville is pretty over. He's been on the main roster for a couple years now. And, besides that right now, there's not star power there. There's a lot of people who are capable of being stars there. They're just not there yet. Rich Swann is a guy I look at that I think could be really popular one day. TJ Perkins, I think, could be really popular one day. He reminds me a little bit of a Rey Mysterio Jr., just he doesn't have the mask, that he also doesn't have the name value yet. Brian Kendrick, I think, is a solid heel. But they just don't have the guys. Jack Gallagher could be something special. He's very entertaining. He's charismatic. He's pretty solid in the ring. I could see him being something too. But yeah, it's just right now a lot of the guys are no-named guys. The fans don't relate. Fans don't know who they are. So that's, I think, the downside of the Cruiserweight division. And so they need a guy who... Neville's been great so far. I think Austin Aries will be great. And I think a continual feud with them, or even those guys feuding with other people, could really elevate other people. I heard a rumor that TJ Perkins might be going to NXT, which would only help. So, yeah. I think Austin Aries will win. And we'll see where they go with that. I really have no idea what they're going to do with the Cruiserweight division. Just doesn't seem like 205 Live is really doing much for them right now. The next match is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Now, this is a match that they talked about on one of their network shows, and something they brought up is how the fans don't seem to really care about the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And they were like, hey, this is a huge deal. It's part of WrestleMania tradition, and they've done it a couple of years now. I think the problem is they put all these guys in the match that aren't relevant, that aren't being pushed. They tend to lose a bunch of matches, and then they throw in a handful of guys who, like Big Show and Braun Strowman and things like that, Cesaro in the past, that you're like, oh, okay, these guys, okay, I like these 5 guys, but it almost seems too predictable every year. Now, this year they've been hyping up Mojo Rawley in it, and Big Show, I think, said this was his very last WrestleMania match. I think Braun Strowman's in it. So, and then the guy from Sanity is in it, in NXT. And I am expecting Braun Strowman to win. I expect it to come down to Big Show and Braun Strowman to win the match. That to me would be perfect. And hopefully it's convincing. Like, hopefully him and Big Show are in there for a minute. I mean, not just a quick, hey, you eliminate the third guy, and now it's down to 2, and boom, Braun Strowman wins with a quick elimination. No. I want it to be they're in there and they battle for a couple minutes before finally eliminating each other. I think that would be cool. Now, I don't know what the order of the matches is going to be on the main card. So this is not in any particular order. Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. I expect AJ Styles to win, since last year in his debut WrestleMania he lost. And I expect him to win with the help of Anderson and Gallows. I don't know if Shane McMahon... Everyone's saying, oh, Shane McMahon's going to jump off of something, whether it's the ring above the ring or it's off the ramp. But this is a traditional match. So I expect AJ Styles to win with some shady outside interference. I think Shane McMahon could easily put him through a table, maybe do a elbow drop, off the corner on him through a table after the ref's knocked out. And that I could see something like that. Or maybe a coast to coast. I could see him hitting that. But I do expect this match to be really good. I think AJ Styles can carry Shane McMahon to a fantastic match here, and that's what I'm expecting. I think it'll be slower paced. I think AJ Styles will probably do a lot of showboating. He'll be kicking the crap out of Shane McMahon and just showboating constantly until something surprising happens, and then Shane McMahon does a couple cool moves before losing. So that's what I think will happen there. John Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maryse. This match I hate. Not because of who's in it or anything like that. Not because it's a Cena match or a Miz match. But I hate the fact that they're doing a mixed tag team match. I'm not a fan of mixed tag team matches. I think letting the women wrestle is cool. Letting the men wrestle. I don't know. I don't watch Total Bellas. No interest in it. I don't care if John Cena proposes or not. I just don't care about this. Now, John Cena talking smack to The Miz. The Miz, I think, has beat John Cena more than he's lost to him. I mean, hell, he beat him at WrestleMania a few years ago for the title in the main event. So it just seems, I don't know. John Cena was ripping on Miz and them on SmackDown. I feel like this is a fine match. John Cena and Miz is a fine rivalry. You don't need Nikki Bella and Maryse in this match. In fact, I think it's better without them. I'm expecting John Cena to win, but I would love it if The Miz and Maryse won. So I'm choosing Cena and Nikki Bella. Now, The Undertaker versus Roman Reigns fighting over whose yard it is. I think the match is fine. I hate the fact that they're fighting over who claims whose yard it is. Undertaker comes for 2 shows a year now. This is probably his last one. I expect Roman Reigns to win. However, I expect Braun Strowman to get involved as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if Braun Strowman came in and laid out both dudes. In fact, if Undertaker wins, it's going to be because Braun Strowman lays out Roman Reigns. But I could see it going either way because of Braun Strowman. But more likely, I see him helping Roman Reigns. Again, I think the fact that he would have won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and then he goes up and destroys Roman Reigns, I think that's the way to do it. And then next month he can battle Roman Reigns. I don't want Roman Reigns in the title picture. I have a feeling when Roman Reigns wins this match, though, he will get a shot at the winner of the Universal Championship match. Triple H versus Seth Rollins. This match, I think, has had a decent build-up. I think it makes sense how they built it up. And I think that Finn Balor will get involved in this match. I think Seth Rollins will win. I think Finn Balor will come out and distract Triple H or something, or maybe even just get involved. And the basis is, yes, Seth Rollins hurt Finn Balor in that match, but the only reason that match happened was because Triple H and Stephanie were favoring Seth Rollins at the time. So he blames Triple H. And then the previous year at WrestleMania, he was one of the skeleton, extras. They don't have to play that up, but I could see them using that in the storyline. That he was just a nobody and had to wear the skeleton extra mask and walk down to the ring with Triple H for his entrance. So I could see you got this faction that's Triple H's dudes. You've got the Balor Club with Gallows, Anderson, and Balor. And I think that could be really cool seeing a feud there. Because then you have Owens, you have Samoa Joe and Triple H versus Balor, Gallows, and Anderson. And that would be an awesome match at the next pay-per-view in a month. It also would allow Seth Rollins to get back involved in the title picture, which I think would be perfect. So, anyways, could see that happening. So, the next match on here that I have written down is the SmackDown Women's Championship Match. A lot of people are saying Naomi will win. I could see Becky Lynch winning, just because she really seems like the face of SmackDown. Naomi's a face. Becky Lynch is a face. Natalya's a heel. Mickie James is kind of a heel, but I don't see her being around for a while. And then Alexa Bliss is a heel. I don't know what they're going to do with the SmackDown Women's division. So I feel like Becky Lynch would make sense winning, and then Alexa Bliss and her can feud next month, and then Natalya and Mickie James and whoever can all get their run at it again. And then you could have a face versus face, Naomi versus Becky Lynch at whatever, SummerSlam or something, or whatever you wanted to do. Raw Tag Team Championship match, Luke Gallows, Karl Anderson versus Enzo, Amore, Big Cass, Sheamus, and Cesaro. A lot of people think Enzo and Cass are going to win. I don't. I actually could see Finn Balor getting involved and Gallows and Anderson retaining. So that, I think, would set up the Balor Club versus Triple H's dudes. I could see Sheamus and Cesaro splitting after this, with Sheamus going heel, Cesaro going face. Cesaro getting a push towards the top on his own. Enzo and Cass can continue to feud for the tag team titles. This would also, if you split Sheamus and Cesaro, it would also leave a spot for another tag team. And I think you could bring up the Revival to fill that role. And they could come up and be like, hey, we're the greatest NXT tag team champions. Enzo and Cass never even won those. Then they do their match, and then only, a month later face. So in a few months, get their shot. The winner of that gets their shot at Gallows and Anderson for the titles. Raw Women's Championship match. Bayley, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Nia Jax. Again, multi-person match. Obviously, they're trying to get everybody that they can on this card. I think it'll be a great match. I expect everybody to team up on Nia Jax. But I could see... I could see Nia Jax and Charlotte trying to team up on both Bayley and Sasha Banks. I think we will see a possible Sasha Banks heel turn, whether it's here or on Raw, I don't know. But I really hope Bayley retains. I just don't think it's going to happen, because I don't think that the crowds on Raw are really behind her as much as they were in NXT. I think that the WWE booking has noticed that, and so I think they're going to go a different direction. I fully expect Charlotte Flair to get the belt, but I really want Bayley to win and then have a feud with Sasha Banks. That's what I want to happen. Maybe they work up Charlotte becoming a face again to feud with the heel Sasha Banks. I think that would be good. I think a face Charlotte versus Nia Jax would be good. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with Bayley. I also think that if they did this, they could bring up Asuka. Or, but that again, that's a couple months away before you could do that, because I don't think she's ready she's the NXT Women's Champ, so I don't think Asuka coming up now would benefit this. The Intercontinental Championship match. Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin. I know a lot of people are really liking Baron Corbin. I'm not. I'm not a fan of Baron Corbin that much. I think he serves his role, but I'm not as hot on him as other people. I think Dean Ambrose should win, and I think he will win. Baron Corbin reminds me of Kane a little bit. A guy who can be very dominant at times, but doesn't need a title for it. And so that's the mold I see him in, coming in, having these strong feuds with people. Even if he loses the feud, it doesn't really matter because he's such a big guy and menacing that I think that, you can do that over and over again. The next match is probably one of the best built feuds in a while, in my opinion, that strangely has not been getting talked about that much. It's the United States Championship match. Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. I expect Kevin Owens to win. I still think Chris Jericho is going to stick around after WrestleMania for a little bit. I would love Chris Jericho to have another world title run in him, or universal title run. But I think Kevin Owens is going to win. And I think he's going to win because it's going to give him something to do over the next couple months while they sort out what they're doing with the Universal title. He obviously deserves his rematch and things like that, but if he's got the United States title, I don't think it's going to be such a rush to get him back up there. So he's going to win the U.S. title. I anticipate him and Samoa Joe, possibly, or not him and Samoa Joe, but I anticipate him feuding with Sami Zayn over the United States title over the next few months. Jericho will go on to have a feud with Samoa Joe, in my opinion. So it's kind of like him and Jericho and Zayn are going to flip spots. Now, it depends, though, on if the Finn Balor thing comes to fruition with Triple H. But you could still do that, too. You could have the Balor Club, the Authority, and then Zayn and Jericho. And whatever combination of matches you want to do there. But yeah, so I think Kevin Owens is going to go over Jericho, and that's, for the most part, going to end the feud with Jericho. The championship match for SmackDown, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. A lot of people have said this has been the best built-up match, but I feel like there's been a lot of holes in this build-up. For example, Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble, was allied with Bray Wyatt, so he said he forfeited his shot at the title. Right there, he shouldn't have had a shot at WrestleMania no matter what. SmackDown went on to do a Battle Royal. Luke Harper and AJ Styles had a draw. They fought the next week with AJ Styles winning. Randy Orton on the same night, I think it was the same night, said he was coming back for his title shot and had to fight AJ Styles and won. Didn't like that build up whatsoever. I feel like you didn't hold Randy Orton accountable to what he said. You're rewarding him for burning Bray Wyatt's shed or house down and desecrating a grave. I hated that. I hated the build up the last month. I thought, for the most part, like, why these guys are feuding is great. I just don't think... I don't think Randy Orton ever should have given up his spot, if that was the case. It could have been billed as, yeah, I'll lay down for you at WrestleMania. And then boom, 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 all these things happen. Maybe it involves AJ Styles saying this is crap, that I need a rematch for my title, and Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. I feel like they could have done it a different way that would have worked. Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan saying, Randy Orton, you can't just lay down in this match. So in order to keep your spot, you're going to have to fight AJ Styles. Or you're going to have to fight the winner of this Battle Royal. And so then they could have done the Battle Royal. That could have led to the draw. Then boom, that's how they could have done it. Rather than saying, oh yeah, I give up my spot. But not really, I still got it. That's silly. And then I think you could have had Randy Orton flip on Bray Wyatt then. Now, for this match, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton, I fully expect Bray Wyatt to retain. I don't think Luke Harper is going to help Bray Wyatt. I think he's going to help Randy Orton. But I could see Eric Rowan returning and helping Bray Wyatt by taking out Luke Harper. I could see a potential Bo Dallas to SmackDown deal. That would be ideal. I would love that. And then you get Bo and Eric as the new tag team for the Wyatt family. Yeah, so anyways, I see Bray Wyatt winning. I think it's the best way to go because then you keep Bray Wyatt on top of SmackDown as your heel that's just below AJ Styles. I think that would be awesome. And then what I hope they will do is because AJ Styles will beat Shane McMahon, maybe at the end of that match, they do the handshake. AJ Styles does a face turn, and then you have a face AJ Styles versus a heel Bray Wyatt. Or you have, Randy Orton, who's kind of a face or a heel. Maybe Randy Orton feuds with AJ Styles, and Luke Harper feuds with Bray Wyatt. You still have John Cena and Miz. You still have, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler. I mean, you still have a lot of guys on SmackDown that are very believable to work in that upper slot where they're fighting for the titles. So, a lot of directions you can go with Bray Wyatt retaining, or Randy Orton winning it. But I think if Randy Orton wins, that's his 15th or 16th world title run also. And I don't know what they're building for next year. It sounds like they want a Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the world title. But I could see them doing a Randy Orton, John Cena SmackDown world title match also as your two main events. And if Randy Orton can get to 16 titles and John Cena's got 16, so then they're fighting for the number one, who's going to be the top guy, basically. I could see them doing something like that. Not that I want that, but yeah. So, Universal Championship match, I think, is going to close the show. That's the Bill Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar title match. Supposedly, Goldberg's been miserable since returning back to wrestling. He hasn't taken any bumps. He hasn't done much. I mean, he's taken like 2 F5s. That's it. Or 1 F5. I don't even know. I hate that they brought Goldberg back and gave him the title. And let him... I don't know. I just hate it. I hate how they've used him. It's not very entertaining. I don't know if it's really a draw like they think it is, but we'll see. I expect Brock Lesnar to win in a match that's about 7 to 8 minutes. And I don't know. I feel like the crowd's going to crap all over it, as well as the Undertaker Roman Reigns match. I don't think anybody wanted to see this match really, other than maybe some old school casual fans. I don't expect it to be a good match. I don't know. So hopefully it surprises me. I think it's going to close out WrestleMania. Goldberg will hopefully be done after this. Maybe he comes out on Raw and thanks the fans for this run, and stuff like that, and then fades out. And maybe Goldberg stays involved with WWE over the next couple of years with occasional spots for different things. But I hope he doesn't get any more title matches or any matches in general. I think he'd be better used, kind of how Austin was after he retired, where every now and then he might be an enforcer or maybe even a referee. But I don't want him to be a wrestler. Brock Lesnar wins, gets the title, I think should feud with Seth Rollins or Finn Balor, because I love Finn Balor. I'm a huge Finn Balor fan. But I want him to feud with Seth Rollins for the title over the next couple months, or month or two, whatever, and drop the belt to him, but I don't think it's going to happen. Whoever he faces over the next year, it sounds like he's going to win 4 pay-per-view matches and then face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania next year. I hope that's not the direction they're going. But if it is, hopefully SmackDown has something awesome going on. The one thing I will say about WrestleMania I'm bummed out about is you have Sami Zayn and Samoa Joe. that I think need to face each other. And so I hope tomorrow at some point during the pre-show or whatever, they say, hey, we're putting you guys on the card. Maybe it's in the pre-show. I don't care. But those two guys need to wrestle at WrestleMania against each other. That's what I want to see. I don't think either of them are in the Battle Royal. In fact, let me look. Yeah, I don't have any notes that they are in the Battle Royal, so I really hope they face each other. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on WrestleMania. That's what I think will happen. That's some of the stuff of what I want to happen. So I'd love to hear your thoughts below. Maybe if you're watching this after WrestleMania, you can tell me how wrong I am or was. I have no problem with that. But yeah, I think this is good. I want to do this for at least pay-per-views in the future, just so I want to have a track record of what I thought would happen, and just because I love wrestling. So with that, I will talk to you guys later. Hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time.